a dark humor trigger warning on this. I don't even know if that's a thing, but this is dark and yet accurate.
So I went to the American School of The Hague, so we were very American. We had a football team and cheerleaders. We would do a pep rally before every game. But because we were in the Netherlands, we also had things like books. Nobody ever got shot. No, quite right. Yeah, I didn't intend that as a punchline. To be fair, I just intended it as a commentary on something which is actually gotten quite bad. It's getting quite bad over there. In fact, my understanding is it's gotten so bad that they've actually had to ban abortion in order to just have enough kids to shoot.
Like these, don't get me dirty.
Fellas, that is not a move for novices. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do that. Cause she finna be at your mama house talking about why you being weird to me. See, don't play with it. Stop.
If your man wakes up at 2, 3, or 4 in the morning to go to work and provide for you and your family, you should be waking that man up with some head and breakfast in bed. I promise, it'll only take like 30 minutes out of your day, and it'll totally jumpstart his. He'll appreciate you so much.
See, the thing is, there's so many crazy things that happen in this world that happen with such regular occurrences that we don't even notice that it's crazy anymore. Like, what if I told you that two nuclear-armed nations, with the largest populations in the world, with modern militaries, are currently beating the shit out of each other every single day with medieval hand combat weapons? Medieval weapons. The nations of India and China have constant border disputes in the Himalayan mountains, right there on the border, at the very north of India, and just the very southwest corner of China. Those nations touch, and they can't agree on where the borders actually are, right? They're like, no, the line's 20 feet that way. No, the line's 20 feet that way. And so their militaries come into conflict all the time. Like, they're constantly running into each other. And they kept having issues. So finally, the governments, instead of being able to decide on where these borders are, they sat down and had a conference and they agreed, listen, we aren't allowed to shoot at each other. That's it. That's the only rule. We can't use bang guns, but we can still fight. And they do almost every day. Almost every day, the Indian and Chinese armies wearing full modern warfare gear, right? They're wearing the camo, they got the helmets, they got, the usual gear we're used to seeing in modern day. They are also carrying medieval weapons, and they are straight up murdering each other, hand-to-hand combat, deep in the middle of nowhere on mountain passes that no one gives a shit about because some random governments can't agree where a dot is on a map. I'm dead serious. And so are the dudes fighting in the middle of mountain passes. There are videos online that you can see of literally hundreds of Indian and Chinese troops beating each other like they are Romans back in the day. Like, this is Three Kingdoms shit, okay? Stuff is nuts. And it's gotten so crazy because the Indians usually win. I want you to be clear about that. Like, the Indians have been investing in research and development of better ancient weapons, but modernizing them because, again, none of these, but you can use a trident. There's no rule that says, it's like Air Bud. Can a dog play basketball? There's no rule against it. Did our agreement of no guns mean that we couldn't electrify a trident? Yeah, they have electrified tridents, like the giant fork from like the Colosseum. Yeah, they have that. They have electrified stun gloves that they're using in the mountains to fight the China. And again, both of them have nukes, and they don't want to use the nukes, so they're stabbing each other with tridents.
What's a company secret that we shouldn't know, but you're just like, fuck it, I hate this job?
You can get free brake pads for life at AutoZone because they all have lifetime warranties. Just bring your old ones in, worn down to the bare metal. Warranty them out. They won't say no. Works every time.
How much does it cost to live on Central Park? This is an incredible apartment. I mean, first off, look at this kitchen. You've got cabinets go all the way around. They're getting an island right here. I love these light fixtures. Built-in refrigerator and freezer. 5-burner induction stovetop. And look at that range. Let's see, is that the dishwasher? Oh, that's your garbage. Dishwasher is right here. Another little oven. Closets. You've got 4 bedrooms, each with its own bathroom, and one of them is a flex space. So this is your living room. That's Central Park. You've got a built-in fireplace, and right there is bedroom number 4, or a flex space. This could be a home office. This could be a den. It's got its own bathroom right there. Nice big tub. Laundry room, main entrance, bedroom number 2, bathroom. Bedroom number 3, storage and bathroom. Those are your AC vents. So that's for the air conditioner. Heat is right there. Look at how nice this bathroom is. You've got a floating toilet. That's your flusher. Floating vanity, but the mirror behind it comes all the way down. These tiles are cool. These tiles are cool. Nice big tub. Storage behind there. And then we have the primary bedroom. So first off, you've got all this built-in shelving and storage. It's really spacious. And through there, you've got a walk-in closet. That's pretty nice. And a really cool bathroom. Shower's got a bench and a built-in shelf. 1, 2, 3 heads and some additional lighting up there. 2 sinks would have been nice, like a double sink vanity, but you've got a lot of storage under there. More storage behind this mirror. This awesome mirror over here, more storage over there, and look at that tub. You've also got electronic shades, so all and down. This room's got its own button, and we're done.
Conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in.
OJ didn't do it. It was his son Jason who had a history of knife violence and was very vocal about how much he hated Nicole. I think that Ron was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But don't get me wrong, I still think that OJ was involved. I think that OJ found out that Jason was gonna go and hurt Nicole, and he went there to try to stop it, and that's why his blood's at the scene. Obviously, OJ wasn't able to stop it, and so they both fled, and OJ helped Jason cover up the evidence. That's why the gloves didn't fit, and that's why OJ went on that long car chase, so his son could have time to get rid of evidence while the cops were distracted.
Remember, I'm too old to fight. I'll just fuck your mom.
Logan, I'm gonna need you to pick a fight.
No, I don't have your on. Don't record.
I'm gonna need you to pick a fight.
Are you recording?
Not you.
Okay, what?
I'm gonna need you to pick a fight.
With who?
With Boots.
No.
Please?
What's the fight about?
Anything.
No.
You don't love me.
If it doesn't have a purpose, then no.
Oh, it has a purpose.
What's the purpose?
I'm not telling.
So I'm going to tell you how a lawyer, a mediator, or a judge, or a gal can really tell the difference between a narcissistic parent and the parent that's actually out for the well-being of the child. Coming in heavy with number 1, the narcissistic parent. Man, oh man, if you would ever sit in a courtroom, you would be able to pick out the narcissistic parent like that. That narcissistic parent will literally go right into the courtroom and put all blame on the other parent. When that narcissistic parent comes into a courtroom, it is very rarely addressed about the child. It is more so pointing fingers at the other parent. The parent does this. The parent acts like this. The child's the way she is because of this parent. And this parent's like this. And it's automatic degrading, false accusations, very false allegations against the parent. And it's very rarely even about the child. It's just about the parent. Well, that parent did this. Our child's this way because that parents like this. This kid is in therapy because of that parent. And it's automatic, full blame on the other parent. Red flag. These type of parents literally throw themselves under the bus the second they open their mouth. Then coming in number 2, you got the parent that's actually out for the well-being of the child. That parent is very calm, collected, and they very rarely have anything negative to say about the other parent. This parent will sit there and be like, well, I think our child should have this. I think our child should benefit from this change. I think our child could use some more of this or some more of that. I want to do this for our child. Every idea they place on the table or every statement they place on the table is literally about the child. You don't hear them going, oh, well, I didn't do that. This parent did that. They're not fighting back with the narcissistic parent. They're just sitting and being like, blocking them out and just full on worrying about their child. Not only do judges and everybody else in the legal field can point these things out, you can point these things out too. If you would just sit back and watch, like if you're a step parent like myself, you can sit back and like observe both players. You will be able to see with your naked eye on who's the parent that's doing the manipulation, who's out to hurt the other parent, and then you can see who the parent is that actually cares for the child. It is black and white.
Hey, good morning. I pulled out a couple ingrown hairs. You said, I'm not trying to start an argument or anything, but I've always felt that the taking of a knee was disrespectful to the anthem and not the flag, in my opinion. Well, historically, did you know that the national anthem is disrespectful to black people, and that's the reason it didn't become the national anthem until 1931? True story. So come here real quick. Let's have a conversation. First up, your feelings are not facts. So in a factual conversation about what is and what isn't, your feelings have no merit. They are feckless. Keep them to yourself. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's take a look at the lyrics of the Star-Spangled Banner. Now, we only sing one verse because the rest of them have been deemed problematic, especially the third verse, which starts off like this. And where is that band who vauntingly swore? And what band are they talking about? This band, the British Corps of Colonial Marines. Pause to read if you like. It all started in the War of 1812 when General Cockburn gave a proclamation stating that anybody who fought for the British would gain their freedom. And by 1814, about 3,400 enslaved black people signed up to fight for their freedom. And on the 24th of August, 1814, the Colonial Marines beat the brakes off the Americans, and Francis Scott Key saw it. You see, the British not only promised freedom and a land to these black colonial marines, but they also promised refuge to them as well. Pay attention to that word refuge because it's going to come up later. So these black soldiers fought with everything they could, winning battles left and right, even going so far as to burn down the White House. The verse goes on to say, who vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more. What does vauntingly mean? It means to boast, to brag, or praise excessively. And who was doing this at this time? The British Corps of Colonial Marines who were winning battles in the War of 1812. In total, it was about 4,000 black people bragging about the battles that they had won as they fought for their freedom. The first line of the third stanza of this diss track asks, where they at? And the second line answers, it says, their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. Whose blood are they talking about? Whose blood washed out their foul footsteps pollution? The blood of the British Corps of Colonial Marines, the blood of black people who were fighting for their freedom. It goes on to say that no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or gloom of the grave. See that word refuge again? Who was giving them refuge? The British were. So what or who is a hireling? Well, during this time, a hireling was one who works for hire. And who was that? According to the book Hirelings, African American Workers in Free Labor in Early Maryland, it was the enslaved black people who were sold by white enslavers. And after they sold their enslaved black people, they got mad at the free people of color who were leaving. So in 1719, they passed laws preventing free black people from leaving the state because they wanted somebody to work the land for them because they was too lazy to do it themselves. And in the 1800s, a hireling was used disparagingly for anybody who worked for mercenary motives. What is a mercenary? A mercenary is one that serves merely for wages, or a soldier hired into foreign service. And who were these soldiers hired into foreign service? Enslaved black men who fought in the British Corps of Colonial Marines. So far, the third verse of the national anthem goes a little like this. So where the black people I saw fighting for their freedom, who was bragging about they was gonna beat us? They're dead, and their blood has washed out the pollution that is their footsteps. And the British couldn't even save them from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. You see, the Star-Spangled Banner is a diss track to African Americans who had the audacity to fight for their freedom. And you think kneeling is disrespectful to the anthem. So why did this Star-Spangled diss track become our national anthem? 2 words. White women. This gaggle of Karens were known as the United Daughters of 1812. And they were led by Miss Reuben Ross Holloway. Seen here waving both the Confederate flag and the American flag. You see where this is going? So on June 14th, 1931, the National Society of the Daughters of 1812 and the state of Maryland sponsored a ceremony at the War Memorial Plaza in Baltimore to celebrate the new national anthem. The parade was led by a column of Boy Scouts carrying 3 flags: the Stars and Stripes, the red and gold flag of Maryland, and the Stars and Bars of the Army of the Confederate States of America. So why were they flying the flag of traitors? Well, Miss Holloway said it best. The Confederate flag, she declared, was also a star-spangled banner. And in 1917, President Woodrow Wilson made it a national anthem. Now, Woodrow Wilson was a Southern white supremacist and a racist who sympathized with the lost cause narrative. Now, Wilson ran on a platform of fairness and equality, but after he was elected, he was like, forget all that, let's bring the racism. Then in 1919, they started playing the song and singing all the verses at baseball games. But after World War I, people were like, I don't want to sing this anymore. So James Weldon Johnson and his brother wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing as an alternative to the Star-Spangled Banner. Well, racist white people didn't like that. So on March 3rd, 1931, President Hoover signed into law that the Star-Spangled Banner would be the national anthem of the United States of America. That's the same year that James Earl Jones was born. That's right. The Star-Spangled Banner as our national anthem and James Earl Jones are the same age. And it only became our national anthem because of racism. The more you know.